Good evening. Welcome to Waking God's Child YouTube channel. I'm here with my co-host Candy Nelson, and we are coming to you live. Candy in Florida, myself in Texas, and we're wishing everyone wonderful blessings tonight and hoping that everybody is healthy and well. And Candy, I'm going to go with what I usually say. How are you doing tonight? And by the way, you look amazing.
Well,
And I mean that.
Thank you.
So, how was your whole day and week and everything else? Or dare I ask?
Oh, you can't even go there, okay?
I already parked that bus and put it in the back parking lot, so I understand that for sure. So, needless to say, it's been a crazy week for Candy and myself. Hello, Connie. Connie's here with us. It has been one of those weeks, one of those months, one of those years, or one of those lives, needless to say. And Connie, Candy, and I were both just talking about the video you sent and the fact that we had not had any fiber type issues pop up in a while. And I was telling Candy how when you sent your video, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't listen because the heavy metal was honestly making my heart pound. But I understood the song and I understood the words, but I mean, I literally was going like off the hinge with it. My body wouldn't take it. But the irony of all this is that we had.
And I have not even had a chance to open it and look at it yet because I had my own trauma and drama going on this week.
Yeah. Touche. Yes, absolutely. She has. It's been hard for a lot. Argo's here. Argo's in the house. Hello, Argo. So yeah, Connie, I totally get it. I was showing Candy the same thing. These fibers just popping out. Hold on, I'm gonna try to pull it up again here a second if I can. But Candy has had, well, we all have had some experiences, but Candy has been definitely going through it along with some other things, myself included. I had Candy. I didn't even share with you what my week was like, but I mean, I don't even care right now. It's just like, what's that?
I said, I'm so sorry I didn't even get a chance to listen to you.
Oh no. So Connie, you can see that clearly, right? Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my thumbnail got snagged and torn off, and there is actually a deep groove in there. And lo and behold, out of that deep groove, out pops this fibrous choice, what they want to say, non-existent, right? Well, Connie, you all, if you guys are watching right now, hello, hottie. If you go to Connie's page, again, click on her name. She has a video out right now that has the same thing, but not her fingernail. On her finger, though, and these fibers literally come out, they're protruding from her finger, and you can see one that clearly pops up and dancing around. And again, it was heavy metal. And I have nothing against heavy metal, but for some reason, whenever, like, I don't know why, and there's certain things, and I know you guys all can relate to this, like some certain tunes or music or noises or sounds will make your body just almost go haywire. It's kind of what I felt, Connie. I'm not gonna lie. It was the monsters around us or something to that effect. I totally understood the words, but I mean, I had to literally crank the volume down. So Argo, I hope you're doing well. I hope you have used Candy soaps and all the good stuff. Miss you, by the way. Like, you guys are amazing. And hottie. I always get the emojis and I just want to send them right back. You guys are all just literally amazing. So Connie just replied again and again. I'm going to have a delay. You guys might see it before I do, but I'm in the sticks. We've had a horrible rainstorm. Candy's getting ready to tell you what she went through today too, but I went through a rainstorm like there's no tomorrow today. But she said, sorry about the music. No, don't be sorry about the music, Connie, because I totally got the message behind it. It's just sometimes it's weird how certain things affect us. So she says she's got the second breakout of fibers that broke out today. I'm gonna say I haven't had the fibers in so long. And then last night, bam, what do you know? but I do see them on the floor every now and then, and I don't know where they're coming from. Argo says, and again, there's going to be a bit of delay. And I don't know if he said, nope, hold on, it's still not up. I don't know if you guys, okay, I have to keep refreshing. Argo, it's probably the weather on my end. I'm not certain. I don't know. We know that the weather's doing some weird things. Candy had to drive through some major weather like this. You say yesterday, right, Candy? I did coming home, which is why we're late coming on. I was stuck in traffic for probably an hour and a half due to a wreck. But I was not angry by any means. I was praying that whoever's loved one was in that crash I was praying for their well-being and praying that they survived, and that if they were hurt, they would heal quickly, because this time of year seems to be a big time of year that a lot of people lose loved ones. And being a mother that almost lost my daughters in a car wreck years ago, any car wreck just makes me panic. So much so that I was calling my daughter, who was on her way here also when that happened, and I was almost coming unglued because she didn't answer it. I just thought, please, Lord, don't let it be my daughter, but please, Lord, whoever it is, please let them heal quickly. So, I don't know if you guys noticed, Candy, look at her skin and her face. She has literally, there's no ruddy or glow, like there's no anything. It's just glowing with this complexion that's so clear. And Candy, would you like to tell them exactly how you're doing that? Because I love like the fact that you look like you're 30 right now, and I mean, you're beautiful. You've always been beautiful, but you're beautiful. You're stunning inside and out.
I've just like way cut back on my smoking, other than the last 2 days.
I'll tell you what. I mean, if that's what it is, that's amazing. Oh, I didn't hear you. You cut out for a second.
I fell off the wagon.
I don't even know where the wagon went. I've always been chasing that wagon with my helmet on, and be like, "Wait for me, I'm coming." No, I mean literally though, it is amazing. You look so good, so good. Hottie, I love your emojis.
I've got so many scars from Morgellons past trauma. You know, the scarring is just amazing. That I'm like,
I know the past 6 years now. I've known you 7 years, maybe. Wow. Your face right now is the clearest. There's no redness, because I mean, you're always hurting and itching, and it's been getting better, but this is amazing. And I mean, not too many years ago, mine kind of was in the same spot, but it took me years to even get where I am now, and it gives me issues. I just can't. You guys got to understand, this girl right here was probably one of the most severe cases I've ever seen, and bless her heart for over 20 years of suffering. I mean, it's not fair. It's not right. It's not cool. And as you guys can see, the title to tonight's little story here, it's the true story, is The Uninvited Guest. And whether that be for Morgellons, for a troll on Facebook, or a troll on BoobyTube, or a troll in your life, that person at the office, or in my case, where I had to go today to a Christmas party just to get my $150 check, because she said, I'm not going to mail it. You're going to have to come here. So I was driving 60 miles to get it. So all those trolls that are within the life. What's that?
I said it cost you $150 in gas round trip, but
I mean, right? And I mean, I haven't had much work this month. Here it is, Christmas, single mom. I literally, and I'm not saying for me by any means, but I mean, I've been Ubering, guys. I've been Ubering. I'm not above doing, I will do anything I have to pay my bills. And by the way, I can't right now, but that's okay, because I won't sell my body though. I'm just so we're clear. Nobody would want it anyway. 12-year-old boy, 50 here. So probably not going to happen, but well, maybe. Just kidding. But true story, guys. I mean, we do what we got to do to survive, right? And I'm doing that. But just to collect $150 check, by the way, that she purposely cut me short on. And you guys keep in mind, I'm a private investigator, right? This was a process serve that nobody wanted to do. She asked me to do it because I'm also a process server, and I'm also a notary of the public. I'm also an ordained minister, and I'm also anything you want me to be able to take care of my kids and pay my bills. But long story short, $150, but yet I had drove all over God's green earth trying to serve this person. Many hours involved, much time. And she's like, "Oh, well, I'm only going to pay you $150." I'm just like, "Woman, what are you smoking? Like, are you kidding me?" She's like, "Yeah, no, that one fee that I quoted them, that includes no matter where so if I go to Africa to serve this person, that's all included." I don't know what resort you're going to. It's probably hedonism, but yeah, I don't know what. So lesson learned, and I've been working for a very, very evil woman for a very long time. I mean, evil, like roll out of your hospital bed and go straight to work, and then if you don't get out in time of that hospital bed, she calls you an idiot or just literally incompetent. So this is what I've been struggling with my own job, and putting up with it because I've had to. And so that goes back to the trolls. Goes back to the trolls. The uninvited guests. So we have the ones that we can't help, right, Candy? We have those kind of guests that just show up, and there's really not much. Well, except for now, I mean, obviously she hasn't hired me for another job since I stood up to her about 3 months ago, actually. And I let her know how I felt. She wanted me to lie under oath. I said, I will not. Sorry, I won't. There's no way. Well, needless to say, well, it's been 2 months actually. So I take that back. But needless to say, Lisa has not been getting any work. And I'm okay with that because there's no amount of money in this world that's going to make me lie, first and foremost. Number two, yep, I mean, I probably will get behind on bills, but you know what? I know how to live in the sticks. I know how to survive. I know how to live, thrive, and survive with or without. Will it hurt my credit? Probably, if the time comes. Absolutely. Do I care? Probably not. I'm not in China, and all those people in China, get the hell out. Don't obey. You'll still survive. And I know China's severe, but who cares? This life here isn't promised to be, any extent of time. You got another life coming as long as you believe in the Lord God Almighty and Jesus Christ who died for your sins. So, with that said, Candy Nelson, hello, Sharon. Sharon's here too. So, Candy, go ahead and, if you wouldn't mind, this is a good place for you to vent now. And I do think, I don't know, many of you know circumstances, but we have a good reason to vent tonight and a lot of what's behind the title. So, where would you like to start with that, Candy?
Okay. Well, how to do this? Okay, basically,
just let her rep, dictatorship. Just do it.
I have a Magellan's Facebook group. It's a open public group. Because it's an open group, Facebook changed the rules, and anybody that wants to can add themselves to my group without my permission or approval. So I've got it set up where once a week it does a welcome post to all the new members. It's automatic. So when that comes up, I have to go through every single name and check their profile and see if they are a real person or if they're like just
Troll?
posting a bunch of share stuff that, or, I mean, and so I have to sit there and go through every single one of them and actually remove them from the group, remove them from the automatic post that's posted, welcome them to the group. And it's such a nightmare to have to do that every week. But you know what? I do it because, as far as I'm concerned, my Facebook group is my home. Those people in there, I care about them. So nobody gets to come into my home or my Facebook group and without my permission.
Right?
And your Facebook group or your YouTube channel or whatever you have is your home. And if you are the matriarch of that home, you protect your family, you protect your members. So, bottom line, if that is extra work for me, by golly, shucky damn, I'm going to do it.
Okay,
You
guess
know?
what? Cupcakes. Mom
Yeah,
was in town, so
yeah. And so,
this
I
works.
take whatever time it takes to sit there and background check every single one of them and remove them or
Yeah.
and it's just a nightmare. And so a lot of times, like I've noticed in a lot of the groups, it's like on their regularly set up welcome posts that they have scheduled every week. Oh, we just added 100 new members or 200 new members. How on God's green earth do you expect to control what's coming in your door at that rate, at that level? You cannot. You
Yes.
cannot. So, eh, again, if someone comes to my door and I invite them in and welcome them in, and they come in and they start disrespecting or treating my family or my home in a manner that is I am not happy with, you will find your way to the door. Okay, first of all, if I invite you in, that's one thing. But if you think you can slide in and come in my house, my home, my group, without even being invited, you just open the door and you come in and expect you can come in here and treat and do people any old way. And even if you aren't coming after people or saying anything, you're a total stranger. I don't know you. You come through my door. If you're sitting in my living room just observing everything
Yeah.
without my permission, without my consent, I did not invite you.
And see,
Okay,
we're
first of
talking
all.
about Facebook posts or any platform, right? Well, when we talk about our home front, guess what I got at my door when you're uninvited and you're welcome. And I know how to use it pretty dang well. I'm a dang good shot. So, so it goes different ways, right? I mean, if you have an unwanted guest, what do you do?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there right now. And I got several more where this one came from, but she's not lying, guys. We got to protect our family, our home front, our it's our treasures in life, the most important treasures, which are not on the monetary material levels or realms. They are it's the good stuff. It's the substance. It's the only thing that will ever and should ever matter in your life. And you protect it at all costs, the way I see it. And yeah, I mean, I don't plan on ever having to use that on somebody ever. But I'll tell you what, if you come through my door and you try to hurt my children, my family, myself, my anything I mean, as far as a life goes, I mean, I might aim for your feet, maybe if you're just, taking something just to give you, a, you're welcome. But truth be told, though, we have to. It's important. You have, in my Second Amendment, by the way, guys, I don't know if you all care about that, but I do. My Second Amendment is nobody's taking that from me. I mean, come hell or high water, mm-mm. I own these. They're mine. You come in and try to take them over my dead body, literally. So, but I mean, you guys, what she's saying is it's the truth. It's your home, whether it is your cyber home, your physical home, your emotional home, your any type of spiritual home. You have to protect that at all costs. And the uninvited guests will every day try to come through your door. They might knock, they might ring the bell, they might kick the door, or they might just barge on through. And then what? And again, that goes with all of those levels. And what Candy's telling you is she has experienced that firsthand. And we both have also witnessed a very good friend have to endure this after a very unfortunate event. So, with that said, it's important. It's really important. And this girl is She's savvy on keeping the house clean. Get your houses in order in all ways, and that's a that's scripture. It's important, and it's probably one of the most important things you can do.
And well, and again, you know what I mean? Obviously, somebody comes to your door, you don't know them, and they just like, oh, well, okay, I just want to come in. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit here and watch everything that's going on. Oh my God, how can you? You cannot open your door to your home or your Facebook group or your YouTube
Well,
channel,
I will, but I got
anything else,
surprised.
to a total stranger without at least asking some questions.
Amen,
And if you
sister.
don't get answers, guess what? You damn sure ain't coming in. I'm so livid right now. I can't even
Yeah,
tell y'all how angry and upset that I am because a friend that, and again, okay, it's one thing, like, yeah, I stand firm in that. But if I'm the only one in my home that's standing firm in that, and say, just as an example, my husband's not, or my children's not, and a stranger comes to the door and they're okay with them coming in, but I'm not, wait a minute, there's a problem here. So you got to have reinforcements. You can't just have one person fighting the unknown, the uninvited guest. So
it
it
takes an
has
army,
to be
man.
a
It takes
group
an army.
effort. Yeah, it has to be a group effort. So even if it's like I tell people in my group, it's like if you see something that's going on and I don't see it, call me. Send me a private message. I promise you I will handle it in a heartbeat. I do not put up with no squat
And
from nobody,
physically,
no how,
in
no way.
retrospect, if you have someone intruding upon your life, call me. I'm in my own business and for my business for a reason. Maybe not working for that evil individual anymore, but I will still always be fighting on the front lines with all of my good brothers and sisters. And no, again, I'm going to say this again. I never plan on ever having to use that on a human soul ever. And at all costs, if I can avoid it, I will. But
Yeah,
with
and I,
that said, you come and you hurt anyone I love, I guarantee you, you're not getting out alive. I'm just putting that out there. Might be little, might be blunt, might be something that you wouldn't expect. But I mean, that's exactly it. I'm something you wouldn't expect. And Candy is a force to be reckoned with as well, especially in cyberspace. So
right, and here's the thing, I have actually been told by people, as far as an admin, that I'm too militant. You know what? I don't give a
you gotta
damn.
be
I don't give a damn. If this is my home, these are my family members. These are people that you
protecting
will not
them.
come in here and hurt. If it requires me being militant, then guess what? Yeah, I will own that. And I
So
have no problem
Candy,
owning that.
let me ask you this, and you and I both know the answer, but say you were a Facebook page that for Morgellons, right? And you had over like 3,000 or 4,000 people, and you were just saying yes, saying yes, saying yes to anyone that came in. And maybe in whoever this person's mind was, because maybe they thought they might be educating the regular individual, but not doing any type of background, or anything on them. Or what would be your choice? A small page or channel with a small amount of individuals that you knew were there for the right reasons, or another one that was filled with lots of different types of personalities and individuals, maybe some there for the right reason, maybe some willing to learn, but maybe some not. What would you say would be your preference, and why?
Okay, as far as a preference goes, as far as quantity or quality, I don't care if it's 1,000 or if it's 10. The quality it matters more than the quantity any day of the week. I don't
Amen.
care. I will not tolerate any type of abuse or any type of mistreatment or just oh, it
Yeah.
just eats at me. I can't even tell you. I'm so distraught over all of this right now. I just can't even tell you. But bottom line
So in
is,
that respect, you're protecting your closest, nearest, dearest family and anyone without even knowing them, but you're still selective for a reason because you're protecting them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm like, I don't care what anybody thinks. My job
There
is not to
you go.
protect what doesn't want to be protected,
Preach it,
and
sister. That's what I'm saying right there. And again, I have not one friend in the world here in Sealy, Texas. They might say, "Hey, Lise," or "Hi," or "Oh yeah, how you doing?" in a very phony way. But and my sister, mom, everyone included. But do you see anyone reaching out, truly saying, "You know what? I knew you were by yourself, and I know you're sitting there, and I know you're not doing. I just want you to know I'm there for you." No, that's not happening. But here's the deal: that's your moment and opportunity in life to actually take that moment and turn it around and put that hand out to them, even if they're not, or to anyone that might be in need. Or I mean, use your discernment. Here's one thing I've noticed. I mean, I'm driving down the road half the time, right? That's what I do. Or I'm parked on a curbside spot. Well, maybe not so much anymore because I won't lie under oath and I won't do some shady things. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The thing is, like, I run into so many walks of life, so many individuals, human individuals with souls and love, and they've just been hurt and wounded and dealt a very bad hand of cards, which I mean, in our case, I think we all have without a doubt. But the funny thing is, you learn compassion, empathy, sympathy, and all these other things, like the Book of Job, that it doesn't just come to you, especially the regular human that's had it all, right? But when you've had it hard, you've hit rock bottom, or you've seen what it looks like, you're well aware, you're the first person to reach out your hand. And I'm willing to bet all of you here, subscribe to my channel, are those types of people. So, like the moments when I get to meet a homeless man on the side of the road, I mean, one that actually literally was going to freeze to death one night, and we've already talked about that. But just yesterday, going to do a process serve. And by the way, guys, please don't avoid your process serves, the legal documents when it says like, you've been served. Okay, first and foremost, not everyone does that. But secondly, you're going to get served either way. No matter what, they're going to either leave it on your gate, leave it on your front door with a big piece of tape. And here's the other thing, and trust me, I've been served so many times, it's ridiculous. But here's the other thing. I've taken my job in service and I've used it to take that moment to pray with somebody, or just to put my hand on their shoulder and say, you know what, I'm sorry you're going through this. It's going to be okay. I have nothing to do with these papers. My job is simply just to deliver them. I'm not the bad guy. And don't kill the messenger, but I care about you. And I'm sorry. I got served myself. Always use that understanding that you have. Or even if you don't, put yourself in those shoes, wear those shoes. A lot of shoes are worn and tattered, and some people have no shoes. But the thing is, the uninvited guests will stay out as long as you keep the ones that you welcome in abundance, because trust me, they stick for life. So again, I'm going to go back to what I was saying. I'm driving down the road to go do this serve, okay? And the serve was neither here nor there. They wouldn't open the gate. It's fine. But there was I will not forget this, literally yesterday. There were these two people, and you guys know what bicycles, but the tricycles with three wheels are, right? Well, there was a male and a female, and I want to say they were probably in their 60s, riding these tricycles. I could see them up ahead of me, and I was coming up, about a quarter mile away. And I slowed down because there were some railroad tracks, and I always slow down going over those. But they both got off their tricycles, and every bit of their worldly belongings were piled in the baskets on the backs of their tricycles. Everything they owned in life piled in the back of these baskets. And I was just like, first of all, it was cold yesterday and very overcast, and it was sprinkling. It had just started sprinkling. And right as I came upon them, they both were off, and both of them looked at each other and they just embraced in the biggest bear hug to one another, and who knows what the reason was. I mean, it was out of the blue. They stopped their tricycles, they got off, and they just held each other, and they rocked and they held. And this older woman with this beautiful silvery long hair, and a man, and he had a do-rag and silvery long hair, and just looking at them, and this sprinkle of rain and overcast sky and not warm out and no really warm coats whatsoever, and just all their worldly belongings in the bike basket on back, and just stopping everything they were doing on this long journey of bike riding to just stop and embrace and love each other and say, hey, I got you, I got you. And I don't know what words passed between them or what brought that on, or if anything it did. But what I know is, man, could we use some more of that in real life all day long, all the time, just stopping for a moment to appreciate, to value, to love. I mean, and I'm not going to lie, I stepped on my brakes and I thought, I don't have anything to offer them. I mean, I literally flat out broke. But I mean, usually I'll always have some food or something, but I didn't have anything in my car. And then I thought, I'm not going to ruin their moment. I'm not ruining this moment. I'm going to cherish the moment that I got to witness just by driving down the road and seeing what real love actually looks like, what despair turned, hope looks like. And so the unwanted, uninvited guests can stay out. I mean, because then you got that. I mean, then you have hope, then you have love, and love is the answer to everything. It's the problem. It's what's lacking in life, without doubt. But love is the answer. At all costs, at all times, when you have nothing, you still have everything if you got love, right? But
Yeah, that's why I didn't lose my news today on my daughter. I'm like, because I love her, and
I hear
she's
that one. Trust. Went forward.
yeah,
Yes. I'm proud of you, Candy, too. I mean, this woman went out on a limb, just doing everything for her child. And we as parents, we do that. And any of you that are parents out there, I know you know that. Or if you even have pets or animals, you know that we go all out. But sometimes our children sometimes stop to take a moment to think about, maybe, just maybe, what mama did for you today, what efforts she put forth, putting her own things aside, or her own things she could be doing for herself, but rarely ever would you see her doing for herself, putting those aside to do for you. So, with all the love in the world, Candy's daughter, I know you, I love you. But if you're watching this, just want to put that out there, because your mom is amazing. Amazing. And if my little girl's watching, well, your mom's amazing too. You just don't recognize it yet. You're welcome. So, yeah, I said that out loud. My bad. But I meant that. We have these good qualities. Each of you, all of us, have these amazing selfless qualities. And I think that comes with being brought to your knees. That comes with being in the moment of feeling lost with no hope, but then knowing that you have Jesus. And I don't know. It's just like a never give up kind of thing. You guys have seen that little poster with the frog choking the crane that's trying to swallow. He's like, never give up. That's us every day, guys. That's all of you. That's what we do. We're survivors. And it doesn't take much to make us happy. In fact, we find our greatest happiness in doing and helping others, doing for others and helping, or anything that we can, even if it's just a prayer. And guys, it doesn't take much to just say a simple prayer. I mean, like I said, today on the highway, I was forever blocked on that highway. My daughter had just come home from college. I haven't seen her forever. Just come home from college. I was going to give her Christmas gifts, and she had to leave. And I mean, I almost missed her. But why would I care? Somebody's life on that highway could have been, and I don't know, but could have been tragically lost or hurt, or imagine what the whole family's going through at this time with these holidays. And anyone that has a heart at all, can you imagine what it would feel like to go through? Never mind. We go through this by ourselves all the time. But can you imagine how we would feel if we had to see our loved ones go through a holiday without those that they loved? I guess that's what I'm getting at. I mean, we learn to go without, but you guys understand, right? And maybe we go without because they won't understand, they don't understand, or maybe MK Ultra, because I think that's the real deal, guys. It's really happening. It's too many coincidences going on. But we don't have hate in us. We have some completely frustrating feelings. And Candy, my dear, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you
Well,
on that one.
I have to tell them what happened yesterday with the windshield wipers. Okay, guys, I was driving hours, like 5 hours through horrific rain. My windshield wipers is going at it, right? So we finally get like way South Florida to take my daughter. She was going on a cruise. So we stop at a gas station and I just happened, it wasn't raining, just happened to reach over and pull the windshield wiper up. When I did, it fell apart in my hand after the rainstorm. So I was like, oh God. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, yeah, we just got through this rainstorm, but what if it comes back? I need to go and get some new windshield wipers. So I go to the auto parts supply store. I buy the new windshield wipers. $50 later, got the windshield wipers. They came out, they put them on. I'm like, I'm happy because I'm like, okay, I don't have to worry about this. But again, my husband was like, how much money did you spend on windshield wipers? I was like, I don't care. I don't understand, first of all, how I just drove through 5 hours of rain
Hmm.
and those windshield wipers worked by the grace of God. We saw two horrific accidents, which if my windshield wipers would have like flew off, especially the one on the driver's side was even more messed up than the passenger. I'm like, oh my God, we could have been one of those accidents. And then to get
Yeah.
through it and stop at the gas station and just reach over and touch it and it fell apart in my hand. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, it could have been so much worse. And I'm like, yeah, it was $50 for some decent dadgum windshield wipers, but guess what? It rained again, and those windshield wipers was absolutely amazing. So I'm like, I don't,
You know,
I didn't even think
just
at
what you
that point.
said right there, it could have been so much worse.
Yeah,
The
yeah, I mean,
fact that
I
you
can't even
recognize it,
imagine.
and I wish more people would, because that was hard. That was hard enough as it was. And especially this time of year is hard for anyone and everyone, right? But when you're just simply trying to survive and every dollar counts, and trust me, a single mom, especially no child support at one time, well, she's in college now, but the point is every dollar counts, right? And sadly we gotta have money to live. Well, if you want electricity and a toilet that flushes or whatever, but we don't have to have that. But the point is, like, you knew, and I know, and all of you know, it could be so much worse. And Morgellons are just experiencing supernatural things, or the spiritual realm, or the demonic entities, or the shadow people, or whatever
The
it is that
uninvited
you're going through.
guest, the
What's that?
uninvited guest, the uninvited guest.
Yes, which is exactly right. So anything, it's so hard, and there's very few in this world that could ever comprehend, much less wrap their minds around, including our children, Candy, right? Um, and on top of that, be a little selfish while their parents not only suffer but suffer financially, suffer physically, mentally, spiritually, medically. But yet there's the glory right there. There's the blessing. Look at us. We all get up. We all dust off that dirt. We wipe that dirt off our face, those tears away, and we lift the chin up and we're like, nope, not today, Satan, not any day, and not on my watch. And we carry on. And that's a blessing right there, because how many people do you all know, that you can do about, how many people do you know that could actually persevere on the level of still smiling? And this goes back to, there's many of us going through this, right? And we talked about spiritual leeches, right, Candy? It is hard enough to get up out of that dirt and stand up and emotionally persevere. So I have always extended my phone number, extended my hand and my help in every way possible. And I mean that. But I'm not going to lie. At the end of the day, I'm human too. And there are times that this can really wear on somebody. You're carrying your own load and you're carrying the world's load and you're hearing it and listening to it, which I want to, that was what I opted for. Because, and not only that, by hearing everyone's, experiences, I get to learn from those. But I want to say this again, at the end of the day, sometimes that load can be really intense, no matter who you are. So forgive me, you all, if I don't always answer right away for whoever it may be, or if I seem busy or disconcerted. I promise you I'm not. I promise you Candy's not. What we are is human, and who we are is, well, we're equipped with whatever load we can carry at that time, because at the end of the day, we are just human, but we're surviving right along with you. And we're toiling and tearing away just to live our lives to the best of our abilities, but also reaching out our hands to other. And when Candy was talking about earlier, like with watching her own Facebook page, and there's others that have had some bad things happen, and she carries that load as well. It's not easy, but you keep your circles small and your friends and your family real, and trust me, you'll know who are the ones that keep around, and you reach out your hand when you can. And I guess that's what I'm getting at. And I mean, you guys are all there. I know you are. But please, let's all. Joe Cummings, hello. Hello from him and his cats. Thank you, Joe, for saying cats. Candy, we just talked about this day. I just had Steve Bedingfield. At 3 years later, answers a post of mine, and I was like, I just don't see how I could have got this from my cats. I'm an animal rescue. I've been rescuing animals for 11 years. More than that, actually. All kinds of animals, well before I showed any symptoms of Morgellons. But I have seen my animals that I had after that pass away. And so when I answered Steve Bedingfield, and Steve, I mean this from the depths of my heart. I love you. I understand that you are literally trying to help with the world's issues, especially of this. But I just want you to know that sometimes you might have in your mind that this way is right or that way is right, but none of us actually have the answers. And when I tell you that I didn't get it from my cat because I was digging in the dang Brazos River and I had a white fiber from those dang rocks on top of Hurricane Harvey cleanup shoot into my body, which wasn't an animal, nothing living, breathing at that time, because I was picking up all the dead rocks, all the dead animals and everything else. But that happened well before animals. So Steve, from the depths of my heart, please know that I understand, but please don't diss or disrespect or say before you preach or talk, or we have new people on my page here. Before you preach or decide you're going to be a preacher, you need to get in my search engine and search this up. Don't treat me like a child. I'm a grown ass woman. I have
Well,
common sense.
something else too. Something else too. We were talking a couple of weeks about synchronicity, right? And you're talking about the Steve situation with the cats.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the troll guy? His middle name was Kitty, and he had his
yes, ma'am. And then the other one was Lisa. I'm sorry, what? Something song. But Sharon has cats. I don't have any cats now. My daughter has those. But I mean, I rarely have cats. I just rescue animals.
But this
and
troll
I want
guy,
to say, kitty, troll. Yeah, your time's coming. But if you were in fact innocent, I'm going to say this from the depths of my heart, and I mean this with all the respect in the world. You don't know, I don't know, we don't know, but everyone's voice counts, and everything's valid, and there's never say never, and don't believe anything that's nothing or everything that is something. Point B is our whole reality, come to find out, was far-fetched lie from what we've been told. Everything's possible, and anything's possible, especially through Christ our Lord, but sorry, don't pretend to know it all.
Let me tell y'all where my head is tonight. Okay. First of all, I have this much tolerance for trolls. and bullies and hateful people.
Sorry to hear.
Listen. So guess what? You want a piece of me? You
I'm
bring
sorry.
it.
I'm sorry right
Because I will give you a piece of me like you've never
now.
seen. I have that much
That was
tolerance for
awesome.
it.
Touche.
Sorry,
Touche.
but that's
Touche.
just it.
I mean, literally though, and again, we're human, but this stuff's getting old. This stuff, the trolls are getting old. The the people I don't believe is getting old. The doctors that don't, they throw you into places you don't belong is getting old. Our families are getting old. The people that take advantage in general are getting old. And those that just simply don't let, you don't have to understand. Nobody asks you to understand, just listen, just hear, and don't judge. I mean, nobody said you had to understand, but don't call names and don't be ugly, and don't tell me my cat that I don't have gave me Morgellons disease, which is not a disease at all. And it's just a very small, minute piece of a very freaking ginormous puzzle. And you're welcome, Steve. Said that out loud, didn't
And
I?
again,
Love you,
my
but I meant
apologies. My apologies about the finger, but that's just how I feel. I'm sorry.
I mean, I literally, no words needed. I'm sorry, guys. Again, at the end of the day, we're human. And honestly, I don't think the Lord's looking down and being like, oh, she lifted the middle finger. Or, oh, she said, or she held her shotgun up. I don't
And
think
I
that's
meant
how our
every
Lord's
word of
looking
it.
at us at all. And I think we've been having the fear of God put in us for a very long time. We should fear God on so many levels, but not those levels. We should fear the fact that we're not learning, we're not growing, we're not trying to understand, we're not having these hearts of love, we're not embracing others. And trust me, a finger or two is needed in many, many ways. And Biden, here's to you, cupcake. You're welcome. But I mean, he's a puppet at the end of the day. But I still meant that. Well, I don't know which one. Maybe it's the clone Biden, or I don't know. And Trump, I'm sorry. I mean, all of them. It's all a plan. It's all been in the plan from day one. And elitists, two thumbs up. Oh, I'm sorry, middle fingers up. Yes, I did that too, Candy. So you do not have to feel bad anymore, because all that means is we're not listening. We don't care. You are insignificant. We're tired of hearing the crap. And I don't think God's going to diss us for that.
Nope.
Granted, we could maybe do things nicer, but at the moment, I don't think we need to, because
I think I'm
enough
headline.
crap, right? So
Done with it.
I'm just saying, and honestly, again, at the end of the day, we are human. We are. I mean, I will be the first to say I mess up every day, all day long, but not without my own, like, man, I just messed up. Acknowledgement. Sorry, God. Help me. I'm sorry. Do better. I mean, we're all works in progress, right? We're all striving for the good stuff, the wholesome stuff, the meaningful stuff. And though the world can't even recognize Morgellons or the supernatural side or the orbs or the this, that, and the other, and Connie got you on the orbs there for sure. The orbs have been pretty real and clear lately. And it all kind of goes hand in hand no matter what. But I mean, once again, the whole thing that we're trying to convey is the uninvited guest really isn't invited at all, and you can literally kick their ass out with two fingers up, or just by your Second Amendment, or your voice, or just, my dad always said, turn the other cheek. And I mean, literally, I was like a whole 86 pounds in high school, and he was like, my dad, these girls want to kill me. They want to sharpen their pencils in my eyeballs, and they said that they're going to kill me and cut my hair off, and they would. I'd sit in the desk and they'd cut my hair off,
Yeah.
and I'd walk from
Now,
my class and they'd dump me in the trash can or roll me in snow. And I turned my cheek and turned my cheek and turned my cheek until one day I had enough. I had
yeah,
enough of being terrorized. And I literally, and it wasn't because I was strong or tough, I literally beat this girl's freaking 5'8". I'm 86 pounds, 5'6". I mean, I was a stick beanpole. I was terrified. I beat her ass from pure adrenaline and just trying to not die. And I went home that day with this girl's blood on me. I broke her nose. I'm not going to lie. Literally blacked her both eyes, broke her nose. And it wasn't because I was tough. I did not even brag. I was terrified. And my dad looked at me. He's like, I am ashamed of you. And I said, well, Dad, if you're ashamed of me for not dying today, I'm sorry. But I had to do what I had to do. And that was the first day I think I ever stood up, and it was my freshman year in high school. But I mean, this girl was a senior, huge. And after that, even though it was disrespect to my dad, considering, back in that day, you don't talk to your parents like that. But I was proud of myself. And with my own four girls, every day I said, don't you ever bully. Don't you ever start fights. Don't you ever pick on anyone. Lift up, love, embrace. If you see someone getting picked on, stand up for them. But I'll be damned if someone ever picks on you and you turn the other cheek and run away. I said, sock it to them. I know that that might not be the right thing to say, but I think it is, because I'll tell you what, from that day forward, after what I did when I stood up for myself, nobody ever messed with me again, ever, ever. My whole high school years, never once. In fact, everybody suddenly wanted to be my friend. I was high school homecoming queen. I was top 10%, National Honor Society. I was in drill team, dancing, everything. It's just amazing. I just stood up for myself. And it's not that I wanted any of those things, but there's something to be said with self-respect and the uninvited guests every day, all day long. You have to respect yourself and respect those around you enough. Turn the other cheek as long as you can, but if it means that you're going to get hurt, no, stand up, because you're standing up for God's child. You're God's child. Your body is his body. It's his temple. So I love my dad. Today's his birthday. And he shoved religion down my throat, and he was the first one to make sure that they took me away and say I was crazy for seeing UFOs, yet he was 15 when he told me he saw UFOs. Well, she thinks the chemtrails are this, that, and the other. And I mean, literally, to adult services saying, take her, she's crazy. I will never feel another greater pain in my life than that pain right there. I'd rather have Morgellons a billion million times with it ever ending, and obviously it's not. I mean, I would rather die a million deaths than that pain that I felt right at that moment. Not from just go ahead, get the crap beat out of you and turn the other cheek. I'm ashamed of you. Got another girl's drop of blood on you. But you think you have Morgellons. You see chemtrails. You believe in UFOs. After you told me, Dad, that you saw them too. Take her away. She's not my child. Turn the cheek. Let the cop car take me away. Never once asked if I was okay. And still to this day. And you know why we still talk? It's not because he tried. It's because it's my dad. I love him. He hurt me beyond him, my children, my whole family. You think any of my family members called to check on me, say, is she okay? Oh, we miss her. Not even a little. In fact, when I got out, I said, who am I going to call? Nobody loves me anymore. I don't know what I did other than tell nobody loves me. I even looked at the lady in the office. She's like, promise to never speak of this again. You can go home. I'm like, yeah, but who do I call? Nobody loves me. And that was the moment right there that I said, I will reach out every day, all day long for the rest of my life. And I already did anyway. I stuck up for every kid in school that ever was bullied, even while I was getting bullied. But the point is, I have went well out and beyond my whole comfort zone or any zone to make sure the people know that I will hold the door open for anyone. I will linger, even if they're 10 foot away, holding that door open to let them know they are respected, they are cared about. And they have are they going to say thank you? Probably not. Freaking no, they're not. They rarely do. But occasionally you'll get that one person that says thank you. And it's not about the thank yous. It's about, what can I do for you? How can I help you? I will hold this door. It's cold out. I will hold it while you're still walking, and I won't even go on ahead of you shopping. Standing in line, put someone ahead of you. The whole point is, everyone's forgot the whole point. The point is, it's what we can do for others. It's what love we can show to others. It's the same love God has shown us from day one. And yet, when our families hurt us so desperately bad and the wounds are so deep, and you know that you will never, I mean, I can cry. I've cried tears every day, and I will never, that's something I'll never get over. But it made me even love deeper and harder. And today, like I said, it was my dad's birthday. I brought him birthday cake, ice cream. I'm like, I love you, Dad. I just want you to know I love you, and I appreciate everything you've ever done. in spite of it all, in spite of the unwelcome guests, which is typically Satan. Typically.
And again, uninvited guests are not always strangers. Sometimes you know them intimately. So,
They've actually been closer to my heart than I care to discuss. But it makes us love harder, doesn't it? Makes us love harder, deeper, or we have to be stern too in order to protect our territory, so to speak. And again, my Second Amendment is my friend. Would I use it on
yeah,
someone? No, unless they were hurting my family. Even my
hey,
dad, my
well,
sister, my brother. I mean, of course I will. I mean, you better
hey,
run, sunshine. So
Warmers, if you don't protect yourself, you are your own core. If you don't protect yourself and you don't protect those that you care about, then I mean people are gonna they're gonna hurt you. They set out to do that. That's what trolls do. It is our job, our responsibility to make sure that these bullies don't cause harm to people that we care about.
that's
I
right.
can't, guys. I'm so heartbroken over what's going on right now. I just can't even beyond beyond heartbroken. But
It's all
mm,
heartbreaking, and everyone's story is, man. It's the most heartbreaking, emotionally challenging story that each of you have, that we all have. It is, but it's your story. It's your story. You own that story. You have literally grown from that story. You have learned from that story. You have been the best version of you from that very story that you could ever be. And I'm telling you right now, though the pain may be the deepest you've ever known, the gain will be the ultimate reward at the end of the day that you could ever even dream of. And that's a fact, Jack. And by the way, I've begged Logic before authority the last, I don't know, 4 times to come on and be part of, the podcast. And I've heard nothing. I know we've got a few comments, and Daniel, I love you. And I get that you have a big podcast and you said you'd like to have us on or whatever. But I also know that we have less followers and subscribers than you. But I would just want you to know that even if you went out on a limb because we maybe not be well known, or, I've only got like 2,800 subscribers and it's just not good, it would still be worth it because there's a bunch of humans on here that love beyond your whole entire imagination, that have blessings in, and maybe not in the monetary form. And no, we're not asking for bread here. I'm as broke, dude. I'm a single mom with 4 children, and never once have I asked for bread. Share your bread. What I've done is beat my butt all over God's green earth looking for work just to make it work and do what I had to do to survive. So Daniel, I've been kind. I've asked you to come on and share your story and share your insight, and I still respect you. But I want you to know that we're still worth it. We're still worth it. And no, it's not about superstar status, which Candy and I talked about earlier, with also a Facebook page that kind of, this is all influencing
that
on that side of
we
it.
got
Daniel, it's
infiltrated
not about
big
how many
time.
subscribers, it's about your heart. It's about your knowledge. It's about your spiritual well-being and what you have to share with others. And yeah, a buck would be great, right? We all want one, but go out and work for it. I had to. I still do. I got to do it tomorrow again. And tonight I got to Uber. Think I like to Uber? No. Think I want to? Probably not. Does it pay worth anything? Not at all. I have to pay for the gas. The wear and tear on my vehicle sucks. But you know what? I'm gonna make it work. And Daniel, you can too. Just
And
put a little
I would
power
like
into
to say
it.
I would like to say something else on that line. Lisa said something to me a couple of days ago. She's like, you know, well, I put you up on a pedestal. I was like, please don't, because guess what? When you go up on that pedestal, you fall hard. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want no glory. I want no fame. I just want to
And I know
be
that about
just
Candy.
who I can
But I
be.
only say that because she's a 20 plus year survivor of not just but life. And her childhood wasn't easy. So, Candy, in the
Hey,
best way possible, I put you on that
okay,
pedestal.
I'll be
It's a
back in a
respect
minute.
pedestal, but
All right,
I
bye.
put all of you guys on that. I'm telling you, every one of you have stories, and they're important stories, and no comparison needed. Your shoes are
And
your
again,
shoes,
the
worn and tattered, and yours, and every
the
story.
bigger they are, the harder they fall. I don't want to fall like that, guys. I don't. I
Yeah.
don't. I just don't. So please don't ever. I just don't ever. And she told me in the beginning, she's like, "Oh, well, you're the poster child. You're the expert." I'm like, "No, no, I'm
I meant
not.
that
I
with
don't
all the
ever want
respect
to."
in the world, though. My whole thing about myself is I lift everyone up to their utmost because when I feel that they deserve, and that's what I'll say. I love that Candy is so humble, and that's the way we all should be. But when I say poster child, the woman's a veteran. She's been going through Morgellons, and we won't even go with the childhood. But I mean, it's not been easy. But again, I know none of your stories have been easy. So, with that said, no pedestals needed. I put you all and I lift you up to the Lord. It's what I do. And I'm grateful for you, Candy. So grateful. So, I hope you know that when I say that, it comes from the best places of my heart. I mean, I adore you. My heart aches with you, and I'm just blessed to know you. And so many people are blessed to know you. And I just want you to know how important that you are
I
to not
better
only
cry now.
myself, many,
Better
many
cry.
people.
So just stop.
What's that?
I'm about to cry now, so just stop.
Well, I mean that. And I mean, I'm not to bring tears, but hopefully tears of happiness. But I mean, your story and your walk is strong and real. And those shoes that you had to wear are tattered, but they're holding up, and you've worn them with every bit of you that you had, and you walked in them with grace and dignity. And just like the Bible verse goes, she's clothed in strength and dignity. You, my friend, are that woman. You are clothed in strength and dignity, and the Lord knew what he was doing when he made you. So just wanted you to know that.
Like I said, he had to knock me around a few times before I got it, but
He has to knock all of us around a few times, right?
yeah,
And
he had a
some
few
of us
times.
still being
Like,
knocked.
dummy, wake up, dummy.
Honestly, the thing is, our discernment is there. We have this great discernment within our whole hearts and our souls, and the uninvited guests doesn't even have to come close to our doors as long as we use that discernment. And sometimes all we got to do is just be still long enough and listen long enough with intent, and be perfectly silent. And I know there's a lot of noise going on in the world. The world is filled with noise, but all we need to be is, well, be still. I have it all over my walls. Be still and know that I am God. Everything on my walls is something that I have to remind, and it is. I'm a work in progress. I have to remind myself I've got scripture everywhere because, well, that's why I wake up and I get through the day, because I need to know and remember and feel how much I'm loved, because when the world doesn't love me, my heavenly Father thinks I'm pretty amazing. And Candy and all of you guys, I want you to know, I know you guys are very amazing, but your heavenly Father is, he's in love with you in so many ways, and he will never leave you. And Candy, I say this all the time, but when I say this, I mean this. You are a treasure. You are a treasure. And I just love you. I love all of you, but I can't even express on any realm in this world how much I love you. But you are my sister. You're my sister in Christ. All of you guys are my brothers and sisters, and I just love you so much. And the uninvited guest can just, you know, well, what did we do earlier? But yeah, to the best of our ability. So yeah, kind of where that came from. I don't, and again, I'm pretty sure that God's okay with that. Not today, Satan,
Yep.
not any day. So
Well, anyway, sorry about the rant tonight, guys, but I had to.
you deserve to, and I trust me, I was there with you. I mean, it's been that, and I didn't even know what was going on. Candy told me, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I was furious too. But she's been dealing with it today, and I mean, it's not fair. There's just so many people that want to tear our world up, or your world, or anyone's world. And Satan's hard at work. Don't forget that he is the ruler and the leader and the principalities of evil here on earth. He will not stop. And trust me, the better off you are, the harder he's going to try. So take it as a compliment. If you find yourself being challenged and tried to the max, take it as a compliment. That means you're a hard cookie to crack there, okay? So there's nothing but love, though, out there from this girl to you guys. I just want you to know, and respect through and through.
Me
And
too.
Candy,
Me too.
every day, all day. So with that
I love you
said, would
guys.
you like to add anything else before we close out tonight? I got to
I
go
just
drive
love
Uber. I got to
everybody,
make
and
a
I'm
plan
so,
for two.
yeah. I just feel like I'm so, I just can't even tell you guys. I love you all, and I will fight. I will fight to the death. Okay, for what's right. I
Right
will.
there with you,
And
sister. This or just with prayer. I'm right there with you. I mean, when I hold that up, I don't mean it as, oh yeah, I want to look confrontational, and I mean it like I'm in the fight. We're in the fight. When we say we love you and we'll do it, we're in the dang fight, and we're not stopping. There's nothing at all that's gonna make us stop. So you want to talk about
if
unconditional love? Well, your
and,
Father in heaven knows about that, but so do we.
and if I didn't invite you in, you ain't coming in.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
you just
Door slammed, tut to the da. Yeah, and Candy, I'm going to take some good notes on that because sometimes I just keep the door open like it's revolving, and I could stand to learn a thing or two. I mean, honestly, when I even know, like in my heart with my discernment, knowing that somebody that's coming through that door isn't good, I'm so bad at being the mean girl, that turning the other cheek stuff. So, but you're right. I mean, sometimes you got to be upfront and personal because it's your soul at risk. It is your spiritual wellness, your well-being, or your friends or your loved ones that can be raped from you. RAPED, in a way of taking from another algorithm. And this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm sorry, I'm going to say that robotically and like AI because this is what Siri says, and I'm going to say that now, entertainment purposes only, just because I don't want this taken down because we're spilling our guts out here and our hearts out. And AI, I know you'll never have that, but if you know what's good for the world, maybe you'll let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Okay, I'm going to be quiet now. But you know what I mean? Let it be. So, you guys, I love you. Cat I Am, a wellness detective and spellbreaker, is here. I didn't acknowledge her earlier. And Tet, not like a T, but right, Tet. So I'm sorry. I hope I'm saying that right. That would be embarrassing if I didn't. But thank you for commenting and for being here and for just joining us in an everyday venture to persevere and keep the freaking unwanted and uninvited guests out your door. So with that
kick
said,
them to the
guys,
curb. Kick them to the
what's
curb.
that?
Kick them to the curb.
To the curb. Kick into the curb. That's right. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make up a cheer for that one. Just kidding, but
Love you guys.
yeah, for real
Good
though.
night,
Keep
everybody.
Satan at bay. Love you, Candy. Love you guys. You guys are
Good
the
night,
best,
everybody.
absolute best. Don't forget that. You are loved through and through. Night night.